until we see we will never be free.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Alcazaz, aka the Bear of Texas. And man, oh man, it has been a long time since this program has been about, boy. Well, it's good to be back. It's good to be doing this. And I do have a message for everybody listening. If you were in the audience 4 years ago, you're not going to get the same personality from me that you got 4 years ago because now I'm wiser, more experienced, more passionate, more driven, more aggressive, more truthful. As I used to say, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. And which is who?
Nobody on the other side of the internet can hear anything, so the YouTube feed and the Facebook feed is a little fucked. Good thing I'm recording at some points, but I'm gonna say this. So obviously, a lot has changed since we have 69 FM, which this show is currently airing live on the radio station right now. We are currently airing on TikTok. We are currently airing on Facebook. We are currently airing on YouTube. I'm going to say that things in a lot of forms and fashions are different because now we have expanded the horizons.
Oh,
And,
yes, you have.
and a lot of people, I guess, are going to see the difference between what we used to do. It was a lot more involved back then. Like this show here personally is going to be more of the fact of a little bit more simplicity, a lot of work done a lot earlier than it was. The research is going to be a lot better because I think we've both grown on the research side.
Oh, definitely.
And to be honest with you, I kind of look at the fact also being that expansion for what we're doing is going to be a lot different. So we'll have audio and we'll have video. Obviously, our audio will go to all of our major platforms. The video, I'll have to fix a little bit of the audio, but being the fact that I did not have my mic on for the OBS feed. But again, Archrivals is going to be different. Obviously, our logo has gotten an update. I'm going to say this, that it's backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it's backwards, but it's backwards.
But it's backwards.
So we're going to have to kind of fix that. Oh, wait, you know what? I know why. Hold on. Because I have it switched on one side, and there we go. Well, my background is still backwards. But anyway.
No, it looks good, so don't worry. It looks good.
But again, like on the feed, you know, it's going to look a little different for everybody. So, yeah. But anyway, like it is just knowing the fact that a lot more work has kind of been put in. And I'm not going to say it's easy because, you know, there are a lot of late nights that I am up, I am working, I am legit just trying to go with the motions a little bit.
Get stuff done.
It's not easy. So
it's not. And Ricky, I am going to address something really quick because this is apparently something that I've been told to my face too many times about what it is that I do, what it is that you do, what we do, and we're trying to do this good enough to be able to take care of ourselves and our families. But when somebody decides to say, maybe this is just a hobby, you see, this is where the best thing for me to do is just to walk away. Because when somebody says to my face that this is merely a hobby, it's an insult to the grinding, the sacrifice, the backstabbings, everything that I have endured and suffered in this particular career just to make it my shows good enough to earn a comfortable living for me to take care of my family.
Well, I'm going to also say that we do have comments, even though that they're not showing up on my side, but they're showing up in the restream chat on the feed. Yeah, we did notice that we did not have audio. I fixed that because, you know, obviously when you're broadcasting to 4 different platforms at the same time, you know, there are some times where you just got to kind of say, hey, you got to fix shit. And I have to fix everything. I don't know. Oh, shit. You know what? Another one I forgot to turn audio on. Listen, it happens. I'm not going to sit there, you know, and sugarcoat anything. But, yeah, I mean, we're streaming to the radio station. We're streaming to YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. I know there's going to be another one at some point that we're going to stream to because I think a lot of people are going to be looking for the video feed on 69 FM. So everything's good. I'm going to say hello to everybody in the TikTok chat. Overall, I cannot really sit there and say I'm going to be able to see everybody's comments as we do the show. But you know what, Bear Man? Let's get to business.
Yeah, let's.
Okay, so first up on our lovely little thing as I am switching around all over the place. We did have signings this week, not major ones, but there were signings right before technically what I would consider the first week of the preseason. Now, Darren Waller left the New York Giants, has signed a 1-year deal with the Carolina Panthers. Your outlook on that?
Well, it's good he's obviously continuing his career. Now, it's a 1-year deal, so obviously you got to wonder if this is particularly a trial because we don't know what the future has in store. I mean, Darren Waller's been around how long now? 5 years, maybe
I think
more.
it's been longer than that. I think he's around like 7 or 8.
I think was it 2018 or 2019 when he was drafted?
Remember, he did start his career with the then Oakland Raiders,
Right.
now Las Vegas Raiders. Obviously, that didn't last too well. He got hurt. Giants signed him. I think his tenure with the Giants was 50-50 at best.
Right.
And then obviously leaves, and I guess he was on that verge of continuing his rap career. And I guess the rap career didn't really work out, so he went back to football.
Right.
That's what I'm going to kind of just say on that.
So this is where he is now, and honestly, I'm not going to set forth any expectations. I'm not really set. I don't have any predictions or anything. So as far as Darren Waller goes, whatever happens, happens, and we just have to wait back. We just have to sit back and wait and watch.
Well, also at the same rate, I am going to say that the NFL is a very squirrely world. There's so many players. Injuries can happen at any time. Or you have position battles where you went into the NFL draft and you was like, oh, yep, we got this guy. He's going to fix all our problems. And then he fucking shits the bed. So let's just, at this point right now, if you can sign on with the team and possibly get a starting job or even maybe in Darren Waller's case, a backup role where that potential injury does end up happening, like that might be like some sunshine coming from the rainbow that, maybe further his career a little bit longer.
Well, we'll see.
Okay, other news we have coming around, because obviously last week we had the Hall of Fame game. Now, mind you, with dealing with family, I didn't get to see the whole game, but I did get to watch from the third quarter on, and was very exciting, especially the finish. However, that finish kind of put a player a little bit on the injury list, because as great of a finish as it was, now his future is TBD.
To be determined.
Yes.
And what player is that, Ricky?
That would be the quarterback that the lovely Carolina Panthers drafted, late round pick. And I'm going to say this, that, when you're coming down to the injury front of the way that the NFL is, it's kind of a weird situation to know that a potentially good player in the caliber of that quarterback goes down with an injury after showing what his capabilities are. It's a little frustrating. Not only for the team, but for the player themselves.
Oh, definitely. I think you're referring to Haynes King, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, from what I saw, okay, and stats after the game, I believe he did not have an incompletion the entire game. But he did throw and run for 2 touchdowns, which gave the Carolina Panthers a victory. Now, again, I don't want to say that I want to read into preseason too much. But when you got a guy performing at that level in the preseason, does that make you give that question of, what do we really have here? And is this going to be a player that, if our starting quarterback shits the bed or gets hurt, do we have the ability to put him in and run our offense with all of our main starters?
Well, one preseason game isn't going to determine everything, but it's progress, and that's what's important. It's progress. At the end of the day, what we have to keep in mind is the entire preseason is designed to see who makes the team and who doesn't. So Haynes King came down, I think it's a hamstring injury. So I would imagine as a precaution, I wouldn't be surprised if he missed 2 out of the 3, which I think it's now 3 preseason games. Am I right? Wouldn't be surprised if they took the precaution with him. But 53-man roster, I mean, it shows it's not for everybody. So
But also at the same fact. Now, there was news that came out this week that we hadn't even played a preseason game. And I was kind of like, yo, what the fuck are people thinking? Now, bear with me on this one. Because we have people named starting quarterbacks. Granted, yeah, they were around last year on different teams, but they're starting, and a lot of people are questioning, how are these decisions being made so early? For example, Tua Tagovailoa, named starting quarterback. No preseason.
And where is he now?
I believe Tua is in Minnesota.
No, that's Kyler Murray.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, well, we'll get to him in a minute. But I believe Tua got named the starting quarterback. No, he's on the Falcons. My apologies.
Okay.
So he got named the starting quarterback. Kyler Murray, who has been backyard trailer trash since he got drafted and played with the Arizona Cardinals, ahead of J.J. McCarthy. Now, again, obviously these guys have established some career, but your outlook on the fact that automatically we're naming them starters before we even had preseason.
Now, this is starter for the regular season?
Yes.
And that's confirmed?
Yes, both of them have been confirmed.
Well, I know for Murray.
Tua and Kyler Murray are both confirmed week 1 starters for their respective teams.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised for Kyler Murray because of his veteran status. And then, of course, a lot of people are unconvinced about J.J. McCarthy. Many are now saying that J.J. McCarthy is simply better off being traded. But if he were to be traded, number one, I would not know where he would go. I wouldn't know where would be the right place for him to go. And I don't know about his status as far as being a starter. Right now, my concern with McCarthy is how long will he last in the league? Because you have to remember, he was injured his entire rookie season. And the sophomore season, well, there were some goods, but there was a lot of downs, a lot of bad.
But here's where I am going to go to bat for JJ.
But I'm not surprised about Murray. But as far as Tua, well, Kirk Cousins isn't there anymore.
Well, again, I'm going to go out to bat for JJ. Okay. Now, granted, yeah, your rookie season, you didn't play. That happens. That's part of football right by itself. However, how are you truly going to see what a player has playing him only half a season? The NFL, you have crap loads of fucking growing pains.
Big time.
I will use my quarterback as an example. Okay? Now, granted, we had Jacoby Brissett for the first few games of the 2024-2025 season. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Time for a change. He's not doing his job. We go crazy and we put in Drake May. He had to have those growing pains from the time that he either relieved Jacoby or started games. Fast forward now to the 25-26 season. I don't want to hear nothing about a bullshit schedule. I don't want to hear anything about a fucking cheesecake schedule, okay? You have to go out and perform. It does not matter if you're going against the number 1 defense in the league or the ass of the defense of the league. You still have to go out and play. You still have to go out and read defenses and learn playbooks and know the fact that you're not using the same playbook every week for fucking 16 games, 17 games. Drake May showed that. Okay, granted, I'm not going to say he was stellar in the playoffs, but he was just good enough knowing the fact that he was going against top defenses in the NFL. That's how you develop players. In the old school days, when you had guys like Patrick Mahomes, Okay? They sat the bench for a little while, like their first year or so. They learned how the league went. Aaron Rodgers did the same shit. Sat on the bench, learned how the league played. The speeds are
For 3
different from
years.
college football to the NFL. And look what type of quarterbacks they became.
Mm-hmm.
We are not in that day and age where we do that anymore. It is legitimately birth by fire.
And that's not a good thing.
It's never been a good thing. But again, we look at guys like Josh Allen, okay? Eli Manning, a name that we could actually legit throw in that conversation. You know, there are some quarterbacks that can do it, and there's some quarterbacks that can't do it. Okay? Deshaun Watson, for example, thrown into the fire, was a good player until his career turned. But we never doubted Deshaun Watson from going from draft to starter.
Not at all.
In this day and age, if you're not thrown in there, I don't think you'll develop as well as riding the bench. Times have obviously changed. The speed of the game has changed. The rules have changed. J.J. McCarthy may actually sit on the bench and be wasted.
Hence the question, is he better off being traded?
I honestly, right now, if by like week 6, week 7, because I know now the trade deadline has kind of changed. If a team needs a quarterback, let's say, I'm not going to say the Cleveland Browns because they have like 8 quarterbacks. But
We do have to talk about that in a second.
but I'm going to say this though, like if a starting quarterback does go down, and it's probably going to be a playoff team, JJ has some, but I can't gauge it right now that he would be traded before the regular season starts. By maybe trade deadline, if somebody really desperately needs a quarterback or they need a change of pace, it possibly could happen. But then again, we're talking about Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray has not been one of those players that you can rely on for playing a full 17 now game season.
Right.
So JJ could just be sitting there waiting, saying, hey, I'm just waiting for my opportunity, and here I am. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. That's where you got to kind of look at it.
Exactly. But as far as Tua Tagovailoa, well, the Oregon quarterback that Atlanta got, I mean, he's still hurt, right?
No, he's not.
He's not.
No. In fact, they have decided that Michael Penix is just going to sit and not do very much. I don't believe he's starting in the game tonight, or in the game on the schedule. But we might see Kyler Murray. They are playing tonight. So, again, it's one of those things. You know, like, I really just don't understand. Like, I understand if you are a vet, you should be, you know, kind of like on that regiment of, you know, okay, let's not go a buck right now. Let's go like 50. You still need in-game action. But a lot of starters are not going to be playing through the preseason games.
Oh.
And we definitely don't need Tua's bell rung again. So I don't know if that's another reason why, if they end up having a game, that they're going to end up starting him.
Right.
I'll be honest on that part.
Well, you mentioned the Cleveland Browns, and it said that I think the head coach announced that Deshaun Watson would start Cleveland's first preseason game, but I believe Shadur Sanders would start the second one. Am I correct?
I'm not going to say by a lot of accounts that we are going to see a lot of what we really want to see, if that makes any sense. Because I understand Deshaun Watson has this massively ridiculous contract. Have we not seen enough of Deshaun Watson? When he was playing, he was not lighting it up the same way he was in Houston. He left Houston and he has been a flaming bag of garbage. Flaming bag of garbage. I'm talking like meteorite, cosmos, flaming bag of garbage. Not good, bro. Like, I mean, we need to get rid of him.
The legal issues don't do him any justice as well, but
listen, if you want to get a rub and tug, go get a rub and tug, but don't make it fucking public, okay?
But we mentioned the injuries as well, and as Fermi says in the TikTok chat, yeah, love to. I mean, again, these injuries are always a cause for concern. So, you mentioned that the quarterback, we don't even know if he's going to make it all the way through as far as getting healthy, and that's Kyler Murray. But with several of these veteran quarterbacks, I mean, there's just a lot of unanswered questions, and there's a lot of justifiable concerns. But
listen, at this point, if I remember correctly, I'm holding up 5 fingers. Well, 4 fingers and a thumb, because the thumb is not a finger, it's an appendage. Okay? They have that many quarterbacks on their fucking roster right now. They have 5 quarterbacks on their roster.
Yeah, they have the guy from Oregon, the other guy from Oregon. What's his name?
I don't even remember.
Something Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel, who was their starter at one point. Then you had Deshaun Watson, now Shedeur Sanders, and 2 other guys that are on a long list of toilet paper for quarterbacks that the Cleveland Browns have signed over the last 20 years to play football in the NFL. Now, again, here's my problem, all right? As illegitimate as it sounds that you drafted Shedeur Sanders, right? We got a glimpse of him last year. I don't think he was completely terrible. I mean, granted, yes, you have baggage with Sanders. Dylan Gabriel obviously could play because he's obviously still on the roster. I'd rather see these 2. You're already going to take a hit when Watson leaves, gets cut, traded. Maybe he should be signed, not for quarterback. He might be better at maybe ball boy or water boy or equipment manager, because that's probably the only 3 things he's going to be good at. So, again, been there, done that, burned the t-shirt. We don't need to see Deshaun Watson anymore. I'm going all Italian on this one. We don't need to see him anymore. Give me the other 2. Maybe throw in one of the outcasts that you signed. Play them through the preseason. And let's see what you got there. The Deshaun Watson book should be finished. It really, really should be finished. We are regurgitating stuff that people are going to throw up multiple times as we see Deshaun Watson line up behind center. Don't show me that story no more. I'm done. I'm done with Deshaun Watson.
All right, well then we can move on.
All right, what we are going to move on to, we do have our first commercial for the show, and when we come back, we're going to start to get into the Thursday night games, which are legitimately in a matter of hours. And I'm going to be honest with you, I cannot wait to actually have all my screens on football. But we'll be right back after this lovely, lovely commercial.
6ix9ine Productions brings to you today one of the best, if not the best ticket app on the market today, TickPick. Buy live event tickets online at lower prices. TickPick has no service fees. Get last-minute tickets to your phone instantly with TickPick. Buy today. Not ready to buy yet? Learn how to price freeze. A new way for customers to continue saving by using the TickPick app and freezing prices while they plan. With over $100 million in customer savings and counting, we guarantee the best prices. That includes tickets for sports, concerts, and theater. Yes, I said theater tickets, damn it. Use the link in the description of our show and start getting great deals on your tickets today. The Master of Mayhem said so.
And we're back. It is Archrivals, our first show back, and I'm going to tell you, I am loving the slate of games for a Thursday night. Now, mind you, our NFL season this year starts on a Wednesday. It doesn't even start on a Thursday. It starts on a Wednesday. Because, we have to have international games and shit, which is always not fun. But we are going to start off with Lions and Bengals. No injuries to report for preseason, so I'm assuming that both teams are as healthy as they are going to be. Bearman, what would you like to see from this matchup of the Lions and Bengals? First game on our Thursday night slate.
Well, what I would love to see, but I doubt we'll see it, is, I guess, Burrow and what's his name? God, I forgot his name. What's the starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions name again? Jared Goff.
Yes, Jared Goff. Thank you.
I would love to see Goff and Burrow play the opening series of their respective series, but I don't see that happening. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't know exactly what I want to see from this Lions and Bengals game, because this is the opening game. So if we see the starters or any starters out there, it's not even going to be for a cup of coffee. It's probably just going to be for, I don't even know what idiom or what have you to use, but it's just like, okay, Detroit and Cincinnati, cool. Let's watch some American football.
Well, I am going to say this, that obviously both teams had changed players, which I'm glad for a little bit of turnover, all right? I'm going to say that I really want to see what Detroit's running game is going to look like now. They had departures from their backfield. Cincinnati added defense up front. I want to see what potential we're going to have with that. And I am going to also, I'm probably going to regurgitate something that I heard on NFL TV and ESPN. Our show is better than both of those, so I'm running with this. I'm going to say that Jared Goff, since leaving now the Los Angeles Rams, has been a better player. I really feel that this is the year he has to put his stamp on the NFC, knowing the fact that you don't have the running game that you had before, but he has been a better complete player since leaving LA. I think it kind of just made his career back to the point that the Rams were expecting, but on more consistency. So just to see even if Goff gets some first quarter reps would be nice. But again, the development of both teams has to be shown during preseason to consider them as probably a playoff team.
Well, mind you, Jared Goff was traded, and LA obviously got Matthew Stafford. So it kind of seems like the pendulum swing kind of took place, because, Matthew Stafford has always been a great quarterback, but Detroit was obviously wasting all the potential, and Matthew Stafford goes to the City of Angels and finally wins a Super Bowl. But you're absolutely right about Jared Goff. I mean, so I'll never forget, in 2018, the Rams looked to be truly starting what was truly an era of dominance and success. Now, they did make the Super Bowl, although that game against the Saints with that controversial pass interference penalty, and Mr. Playmaker would roll his eyes every time I mention that. But that's besides the point, because we get to that Super Bowl. The Rams arguably had an offense that the Patriots defense would certainly have difficulties with, but obviously that proved to be otherwise, because the Patriots defense, well, to say that they shut down the Rams offense would be an understatement, but keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is before I knew Ricky. I mean, this is before the you know what took place. So so the Rams are,
It's not the fact of the like we go back to that era, but I'm gonna say this that I think the roster construction was a lot different when Jared Goff was in LA compared to what Matthew Stafford got
right.
being traded from the Lions to the Rams.
How's it going, Amy? But the Rams had a complete roster and they had a good coach. Okay, but there were pieces that were missing.
Definitely
Now-
that wideout. Jared Goff did not have the weapons that are there now.
Right.
You know what I
But-
mean? Like I think Stafford ended up getting weapons that more fit him, and I think that at that point the Lions couldn't get those weapons. But obviously Detroit had built different in the draft, and they actually did it the way I had said it before. Let's get players in, let's run them through the ringer, and let's let everybody build together. That was more
Exactly.
of the main point.
Exactly.
Now it's to that point where, again, you have pieces in free agency leaving. You have to now get other pieces in, and let's just run with it.
I think the Rams sat Jared Goff down and said, "Look, you're a great quarterback, but you just don't seem to fit our team." And that's probably why they were able to make the trade, and there were no hard feelings. I mean, it was business, but
But also at the same right, we look at the Cincinnati Bengals. Can we legitimately get a full season out of Joe Burrow? That'll be another question mark on the Bengals.
no.
Obviously, in a few episodes from now, we are going to be division hunting, so we can
Yeah.
deep dive more into them. We also have Green Bay and Pittsburgh on the slate for tonight. It's a 7:00 start Eastern Standard Time.
Ooh.
Kind of like a little bit of a we told you so deal. I don't know if we're going to actually see Aaron Rodgers at all play in this game. I would assume he probably will. Again, facing the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love.
Well, if this was in Lambeau Field, I guarantee you we would see Aaron Rodgers for at least an entire first quarter.
But at least, it also has the same rights, though. Ex-coach against ex-team.
Right.
Ex-quarterback
that's
versus
right,
ex-team.
because Mike McCarthy is the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm. So I think this will be... I don't remember if they're playing each other in the regular season. I believe they are. I don't know if I got into that part of the schedule yet, but I think this is just a very interesting storyline coming into preseason. The same way we normally would see Jets versus Giants. Packers versus Steelers should be interesting in preseason.
Well, Ricky, you want to talk about something interesting? Well, check this out, Ricky, because this is for you, bud. The Indianapolis Colts taking on the New England Patriots in the preseason. Now, Ricky, I got to address something, if I may.
Go ahead.
Well, so I'll address it by asking you a question. Is the Colts-Patriots rivalry still something that's hot, or has that... Okay, obviously it's cooled off, but is the rivalry still alive?
No.
No. And everybody asked me, was I Team Brady? Was I Team Peyton Manning? And the answer I give, it shocks a lot of people, but not in a bad way. Because you know what the response that I give as a passionate sports fan and a passionate sports journalist? I tell everyone, well, I'm grateful that I grew up watching both. That's the response I get.
I am just going to go out and say the shine is up. We're not sitting here debating on deflated footballs from a fucking AFC Championship game from almost a decade ago. We're not talking about Daniel Jones fumbling the balls 2 times in one play, or players legitimately breaking both ankles on the same play. Like Colts Pats, goes back to obviously Manning and Brady. They're long gone. I don't know if we're going to see Daniel Jones go up to a level. Well, okay. Let me retract that. Start it over.
Yeah, I
We
gotta
are not
keep
going to
my
see
mouth shut.
Daniel Jones turn into fucking Peyton Manning. Okay? Could we possibly see it on the other side of Drake May turning into Tom Brady? 75%. That's the way I'll label it. 75% of Tom Brady.
75, Ricky.
Tom Brady is his own unique beast, okay?
Exactly.
Now, joint practices, a lot of people were bitching. The Colts didn't show anything on their social media. That's their problem. It's preseason, okay? Again, I want to see development in players. I want to see development on both sides of the ball. That's what we truly look at preseason at. Okay? Again, it's my team versus the Colts. No, I'm not doing a Patriots podcast. We'll talk about them here. But again, I want to see all of the depth on both sides of the ball.
Right.
Because granted, obviously New England changed a lot of starters. Daniel Jones is apparently healthy after, hurting himself twice on the same play, which I don't think I've ever seen in the NFL history. But I made fun of that every time we talked about it. Again, Anthony Richardson was a quarterback that they were drafted. He's like third on the depth chart now. We going to see anything likely from him?
Oh, he's still in the Colts?
Yeah, he's still on the Colts. But I don't think I'll honestly be saying he's going to be a guy carrying a clipboard, helping the ball boy. Maybe Adam Sandler gets signed to the Colts and helps Anthony Richardson learn how to do water boy duties. I will touch on that a lot during the preseason. But again, we want to see development. The Colts were great at some point, but a lot of injuries last year put them on an 8-game losing streak at the end of the season. I would rather see them have a little bit more depth on their team this year. Not that they have to sign somebody who hadn't played in the NFL for 7 years and was coaching fucking high school football to come in and play quarterback for the last 3 games.
Oh yeah,
and that would be Phillip Rivers. So let's not stroke the bone on that one. I want to see development, and I think that's what we got to kind of look for in this game. The Chargers-Texans game, including the fact that there were a lot of injuries on the Chargers last year that derailed them in the playoffs. That's going to be...
That's Fermi's team, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, obviously, I want to hear a statement from Fermi on this, but...
And I'll be honest with you, I want to see if they have come up with a solution for C.J. Stroud.
Well, obviously, as a Texan myself, I hope so. I mean, I'm sure people are already wondering, why is the Bear wearing a Broncos hat? I mean, it's a new era hat, and I love collecting them, but... okay. Well... We talk about the Texans, development and, building towards about C.J. Stroud is obviously important, but the Chargers have bigger things to worry about right now because the Chargers have just always been a team that's got potential, but always, they get zapped by lightning. Let's just put it like that.
Let me ask you this before we move on to the Cardinals and Raiders, which I'm going to guarantee you, if this was a regular season game, I would have a throw-up bucket next to me, a barf bag, a public health emergency team to come and save me, because if I had to watch this game, I'd be doing all 3. Do we actually see more of a change this year, knowing the fact that the Chargers changed head coach last year and is now in year 2 of his journey with the LA Chargers?
We're talking about Jim Harbaugh.
Yes.
Well, when Jim Harbaugh took the job, I mean, there was obviously skepticism, but, it's 1 year. I mean, I didn't expect him to rebuild the Chargers in 1 year, but if progress is clearly not shown this year, that means that the Chargers have really not gotten anywhere. You're not going to change in 1 year, but you can get somewhere. So the Chargers have to prove that they are getting somewhere. But the problem is that Justin Herbert, as great of a quarterback as he is, I'll never forget 6 years ago when he was just literally thrust right into the position because the starter at the time, I forget his name, which was a weird story. Herbert, again, because they've not been able to surround him with useful talent. So I feel like Herbert is in the same situation as Joe Burrow. He's not the one failing the team. The team has been the one failing him. But obviously, Fermi would be able to give the best statement. But I really believe that Herbert is in the same boat as Joe Burrow. The Chargers are and have been failing him since day one.
Well, my question is this, and this was a major bugaboo about the Chargers last year, the lack of depth on the offensive line. Because once their starters went out, it was like running through Swiss cheese. If you could find a hole, you were there, and you were hitting Herbert all the time. So that's going to be one of my major gripes is throughout the preseason, can we see the trenches a little bit more developed or have more depth just in case? Because we don't need Justin Herbert running around for his life.
No, I mean, Ricky, I think you're trying to say the same thing that I've said before. You are sick and tired of seeing Justin Herbert being treated like a punching bag. And I feel like Fermi feels the same way.
Well, the next matchup we have is Cardinals-Raiders. And obviously, the era of the rookie quarterback has kind of been, at that part where both of these teams were pretty much cellar dwellers last year. Obviously, we had no Kyler Murray in Arizona. The Raiders had Geno Smith. Now, we look at Carlos Mendoza. A lot of storylines. He's not going to get a lot of starts. Whatever his fucking name is. First show of this season, I'm allowed to call him whatever the fuck I want.
Ricky, the way I swear to God, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the many reasons why I love working with Ricky. Ricky is such a brilliant comedian. Ricky, I love you. God bless you. Please keep going.
Either way, Mendoza, apparently a lot of the storylines is he's not going to be looked as a potential starter for the season, which a lot of rumors going around. He's not NFL ready. Not the way anybody said at the combine. Not any way that the fucking scouts has said. So what are we doing here with Mendoza? And then on the other side for the Cardinals, Jacoby Brissett, again, named starter for the Redbirds. This looks like a horror show, and I don't expect either team to do very well in the regular season either.
The Cardinals do not have a good depth in quarterback at the moment, do they?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say no.
No.
Because right off the bat, like we said earlier, Carson Beck got hurt, rib injury. He's not going to see any preseason time. And I don't think the Arizona Cardinals would take a chance on having him get hurt any further. So
then he won't start. Then he will not start a regular season game till probably maybe week 5.
And we've already seen the Arizona Cardinals, kind of get butt punch by the Carolina Panthers at the Hall of Fame game. So
yeah,
I don't see this as something I would really want to spend a shitload of time on. Like we sit here, we look at the games. Obviously, we analyze them the way that we kind of look at them. But at the same rate, though, yeah, I find it a little hard.
Well, I mean, for this game, obviously, my curiosity is to see. Mendoza's obviously going to play at least. Well, I wouldn't say one series. I would probably expect him to play. I would say at least half of the first quarter, but I wouldn't be surprised if he played the entire first quarter. But minimum, I would say half of it at least. But
I'm not too up on this. I mean, I will turn it on. I will peruse the game for a little bit. I mean, there are 5 screens down here with 6 games to play on the Thursday night schedule.
Oh,
And
those five screens.
wrapping up Thursday night, Tennessee and San Francisco.
Ooh.
Now, I don't know if maybe the 49ers should really change their logo. I really am going to go out and say this, okay? As a kid, obviously I got to see quarterbacks like Joe Montana, Steve Young, Roger Craig at running back,
Frank Gore.
Like, I got to see a lot of great players, even though I'm not a 49ers fan. But, you know, they were a team that I watched growing up. The 49ers should change their logo from the SF to a big red plus. The actual logo from the TV show from the 70s, MASH. They have 20 players that are hurt right now. Nick Bosa just hit that injury list again.
Again? I feel bad for him, bro. I'm not going to lie.
But I feel like the 49ers are now the new cursed team in the NFL. Because for the last 3 seasons, Purdy got hurt. Okay, you know what?
Is he still hurt?
It happens. No, he's healthy, finally, thank God.
Well, let's hope he stays healthy.
But on the injury list, there are 20 plus players that were starters in the last 3 seasons that probably won't see any action until like week 4. What the hell is going on in San Francisco?
Well, there's a lot going on in San Francisco, but
I have a feeling that
Jeremy's gonna laugh at that.
Well, it's definitely not fucking rice in San Francisco, okay? There are no San Francisco treats going on. It is the emergency MASH unit. How many? I mean, I'm going to say this way. I think a lot of backups will be starting the season for the 49ers. That's where I see it. If you have 20 players that are hurt right now, I don't see any of them making it back for regular season. The 49ers could legitimately start off the season crazy. The Titans, on the other hand, that's a team that I really am going to focus on. Because they had a lot of turnover in Tennessee. Changed head coach again. Starting quarterback, change again. Okay? Their whole entire offense is probably going to be bottom tier of the NFL. I'm not saying that they're going to be top 20 and down, but it'll be interesting to see how Malik Willis actually performs as a starter in the AFC. That's going to be interesting. That's where I leave the end of the preseason open Thursday because, again, 12 teams, all in different directions. Out of these teams that are on this list, okay, Detroit didn't make the playoffs. Cincy didn't make the playoffs. I believe Green Bay did make the playoffs and got knocked off. Pittsburgh made the playoff, got knocked off. Colts crapped the bed. Pats made it to the Super Bowl. Chargers lost to them. The Texans lost to the Pats. So out of these teams, I think 4 out of this 12 teams made the playoffs last year.
Feels like it.
So we get to see a very big mix of teams that were and teams that were good last year. I am changing route, by the way. We're going to go straight to the Friday games. I don't believe there's very many of those. And it just so happens that the Bearman is wearing a Broncos hat. You know, the AFC Championship runner-up from last year.
Because the quarterback got hurt.
Yeah. Oh, I sprained my toe. No, he didn't. He broke his ankle.
I mean, I'm not a Broncos fan, y'all. I'm a sports fan. But again, I love collecting these hats. Well, right now the biggest question for the Broncos is the quarterback healthy, and can he stay healthy?
I
But
honestly would not play him until the last preseason game.
I wouldn't play him the entire game. I would just have him play probably the first,
He's
maybe
got.
maybe the first half.
I would say, okay, I think they still have three preseason games. Don't play him this one. Play him game 2 for the first quarter. Then play him for a half, the third game, and then right into the starter.
Huh.
Now, obviously, Broncos did trade for Waddle. That's a very big offensive upgrade. Their defense didn't change very much. Again, I want to see the Broncos with depth. The Falcons, they got a lot of catching up to do. They have way too many talented weapons that I don't think we saw the potential from those weapons last year. Some of them are now in year 2, year 3, and year 4. I want to see where the curve goes. The preseason will kind of prove that a little bit.
Well, the Broncos still have a certain problem, don't they? A Russell Wilson problem, right?
Well, okay. They're still paying him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're just like the Falcons are still paying Captain Kirk.
But here is my gripe about Denver. Now, we're going to go back a few years. We're going to go into that way back tunnel. Okay? And it was done on this show. That a friend of our show got completely pissed off about. Kurt, I know you're probably not watching this, but I'll clip it for you anyway. I had made the massively large proclamation that Denver trading for said player was going to haunt them. Shit, sure, here he is. He doesn't even have a starting job or is currently on an NFL team right now. And the Denver Broncos are still paying his salary.
Well, I did talk to somebody that you and I both know that was on the show a couple times, I think 4 years ago, and that would be Mr. John Misak. You remember him, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Well, God bless him. He's a great guy. But, well, he told me that he shook his head at the signing, but he said that it was irritating that they were paying him all that money. But I'll never forget, John asked me a very important question. It might seem like we're getting ahead of ourselves, but John literally said, Bearman, you better think now that you're always criticizing the Cowboys front office for making dumb decisions, but now there's at least 5 other teams that make worse decisions than the Cowboys front office. I'm like, oh boy.
Well, think of it this way. Denver's 1, Cleveland's 2. I believe those are the top 2. Again, like, as I look at this lovely slate of games, like the first 3 that are on the list, okay? And I know we have more games to cover. We're stretching it out a little bit. But out of these 3 games, okay, a lot of question marks. Can Denver's offense be better than it was last year? Because they won a lot of close games last year.
They did. So
I believe a lot. I believe 12 out of the 17 games were 7 points or less on victories.
right.
I'm not exact on the number, but I'm rounding it off. I believe it was 12. Okay.
But the argument is that they won.
Tampa obviously now has a change. There's no Mike Evans. Can that
Where is he now?
Mike Evans, I believe, is San Francisco.
Let me look. Yep,
He's
you're right.
also
San
on the
Francisco,
injury
yeah.
list for the 49ers, okay? So there's a lot of turnover in these games. The Jets, don't have to remind everybody what Jets stands for, okay?
Just end the season.
Thank you. I'm glad you said it instead of me because my Jet fan friends will be like, Stop shitting on the Jets. I could shit on them as much as I like.
And you know what's funny, y'all? When I first met Ricky, I thought Ricky was a Jets fan.
No. All American, red, white, and blue. Thank you very much.
Yeah, then I did say, Ricky, thank God you're not a Giants fan.
The Buccaneers have a Vita Vea problem. So that's a very big kind of storyline running through preseason right now. And then you look at another game where I'm going to need a barf bag, barf bucket, public health emergency team, Dolphins and Commanders. Obviously, the Dolphins are not the same team.
Commanders?
Yes, the Dolphins are. Well, I still want to call them the Redskins because, they're Washington.
Yeah.
And the ongoing fight to get their name changed back to the Redskins. Okay? So, again, a lot of these games have way too many question marks. They really do. Can Washington actually step it up this year? Can they actually be a competitive team in the NFC East? The Dolphins, I'm going to tell you.
Who's the starting quarterback for Miami?
I can't even tell you.
I had to wait to the perfect time, Ricky, and boy, did I do that, did I not?
I could not tell you.
Because I'm going to look it up right now. See, well, you know what? Fair me, as I'm paying attention to the chat, I mean, fair me, her expression says it all. Yeah, a face palm to the face.
It is misery in Miami that they only have technically really one Pro Bowl player on their roster. And that's a guy that they want to feed the ball 45 times to.
Oh,
if H.N. is not deceased by week 7 for getting the ball 40 carries a game, they're still going to be cellar dwellers.
Wait, Fermi, I thought you were a Chargers fan.
The family likes Miami.
Okay. Well, okay, according to this...
Although they are a diverse family of football teams over there.
Malik Willis, I think, is the quarterback for the Dolphins.
And I thought I had him on Tennessee, but I might have fucked that up. I'm still getting into the Archrivals feel at this point. But I'm going to say this, though. Dolphins are definitely on a rebuild. No Waddle. No Tyreek Hill. I don't even remember what their tight end situation is. Their defense is horrible. And, they just did trade for an offensive lineman from the Pats, but that's kind of like plugging multiple holes in a dam, and you don't have plugs for all the holes.
Seems like Miami's been reduced to nothing. I mean, they're like literally a small fish in a giant pond.
And they have a tremendously large cap hit this year. So they went Eileen's basement shopping to get players to fill a roster. That's the way you kind of look at it, all right?
Right. But before we go, speaking of the Commanders, there's a situation going on right now with their quarterback. Should we talk about this?
You know what? You say the story, I'll put my spin on it, and then we'll go to commercial. Okay?
I mean,
that's what I'm gonna run with. Okay, like you put the article out there. I'm gonna shit all over it, and then we're going to commercial.
Jaden Daniels, of course, the 2024 NFL Rookie of the Year. Well, there's apparently something going on, and it involves his alma mater, Louisiana State University. Apparently, he is not happy about something. Well, it involves a cease and desist to LSU after another quarterback has been given number 5, and of course, Jaden Daniels is number 5, and that's what he wore when he was in college. So I'm going to wrap it up quickly. An attorney representing Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels informed the university that it can no longer use his name, image, and likeness, according to a letter that was sent earlier this month to the Tigers athletic director, and basically a copy which was obtained by ESPN. So apparently, Well, Jaden Daniels is taking exception that another quarterback is using the same number that he did. And apparently the situation seems to be personal. And that's where I'm going to end it because there's more to it, but I wanted to kind of make it clear, got straight to the point. Apparently he's not happy about his number being used by somebody else.
All right. This is where the show goes off the rails. And I have an example, although I'm going to be kind of honest with you.
Kind of honest?
Yes, because this is where I am going to go to a place that's very dark.
And dingy.
No, not dingy, just dark. Okay? Now, I know everybody listening is going to fucking sit there and be like, holy shit, this is just blown out. A few years ago, a certain player that I don't have a really great like for, but I know he's massively talented, pampered a little bit. But there's a guy who plays in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? His name is Patrick Mahomes. He played for Texas Tech. Now, he had his number retired at Texas Tech. However, in this case, Jaden Daniels is not as talented as Patrick Mahomes. Yes, I just fucking said that. Patrick Mahomes deserves to have his number retired at Texas Tech. Jaden Daniels should just shut the fuck up. Because he's done nothing but a cup of coffee in the NFL for how many seasons, Alex?
He's going to his third.
Okay, so he's been in the NFL 2 years.
Yeah, he's entering his
I
third.
believe at Patrick Mahomes' thing, he was at least in the league 5 before they retired his number. Oh, and by the way, how many Super Bowls has Patrick Mahomes won?
3.
How many Super Bowls has Jaden Daniels won?
0.
Okay, so right there alone, the proof is in the pudding. Until you accomplish something and become a legitimate, prolific star in the NFL, shut your pie hole. Shut your pie hole, Jaden. You have no clue what the fuck you're even doing. And until you could prove to me that you can go through a full NFL season without getting hurt and actually play and do something where you can end up in the top 10 as a top 10 quarterback, do not go reaching for shit like that. You are putting a black eye on yourself. The same way very many other players in the NFL have done that. But shut your pie hole. It's not wanted. It's not needed. You are not that great yet. Keyword, yet. So, this, to me, is like going for a rectal exam that you don't need. I'm going to be honest with you. Jaden Daniels needs to shut the fuck up, learn his fucking playbook, and learn how to stay fucking healthy on the field before he can go running around anywhere asking for a fucking school to retire his number.
So
and that's out of full respect out of every fucking NFL player, whether they're in the NFL Hall of Fame or not, that had an actual superstar career that had their fucking number retired at any alma mater whatsoever.
So basically, long story short, Jaden Daniels needs to know his role.
And shut his fucking mouth. And his asshole, too, at the same time.
There you go. All right.
All right. Now, I said we have a commercial. Which one did we play? Tick Pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we have our second commercial for the show. When we come back, we're going to catch the last few games on the Saturday schedule and do a brief rundown on the NFC West. I'm the Master of Mayhem. That is the Bear Man. This is Archrivals. We will be right back.
6ix9ine Productions and Pipe Bomb Radio NYC are proud to announce our partnership with Fanatics.com, giving you band merchandise from the NFL, the NCAA, Major League Baseball, the NBA, the NHL, Major League Soccer, International Soccer, the WWE, the WNBA, golf, NASCAR, and Formula One racing. Be sure to check out our link tree for our Fanatics link and many more of our other partners.
Welcome back to Archrivals. It's yours truly, the Master of Mayhem. With me is the Bear of Texas, Mr. Alex Alcazaz. I gotta tell you, okay, we had a few potholes in the road for getting the show done, but I'm fucking enjoying myself talking football again.
Oh, Ricky, I am too. And again, like I said at the beginning, they're not going to, those that were here 4 years ago, they're not going to see the same me. I mean, they're seeing a much wiser, more mature, more motivated, and ladies and gentlemen, you got to give the credit to Ricky because I've been, at one point I was taken under Ricky's wing, but I think at this point I've graduated, that I'm at a point where I'm in a high position, right, Ricky?
Before I answer that, I'm going to respond to a comment in our TikTok chat. And I really hope that we catch more NFL from all directions. Somebody said in our TikTok chat, I'm debating on which Giants jersey to get. My response to you, do not buy anybody on the current team. Get a Shockey jersey, get an Eli Manning jersey, get something old school.
Odell.
No, he's on the current team right now.
Wait,
He is on the wide receiver depth chart for the Giants.
How did I not know? Okay, well, I'll be honest.
I'm going to say this.
No, he is. You're right.
Odell is not the Odell from years past. Get an old school jersey if you want, because we do have our sponsorship with Fanatics, and NFL season is obviously starting up. I will help you get a jersey. Okay? Don't, please. I am the mayor. I am the president. I am the god of jersey collecting. I will get you your proper Giants jersey. In fact, I may just give up the one that I just got. Okay? I also have an extra Russell Wilson jersey running around from the Seahawks, so I might be doing a giveaway with that. But please, do not get a new Giants jersey yet. There's nobody on the team worth having a fucking jersey for.
Right. And if you want to shop at Fanatics, message Ricky, use our link, please.
Yes, because our Fanatics link is jumping with deals right now.
Oh, yes. So you will get something huge and you will save a lot of money. So, ladies and gentlemen, our link is going to hook you up.
So, I'm going to work a little backwards on this Saturday schedule, even though games are 4 o'clock and 1 o'clock respectively here on the East Coast. Sorry. For all you West Coasters, you'll be watching morning football. I'm going to say this, okay? Jaguars Saints would be a very interesting regular season matchup. Preseason, I want to see how the Saints adjust. I want to see how much more development Jacksonville has. Okay? Chiefs Rams, I have many question marks about Mr. Mahomes. I don't see you to see very much preseason action, but his mechanics from his messed up knee are not showing me a lot of great potential. Question mark if he even starts the season.
He's already got his 3 Super Bowls. He's got nothing left to prove.
Okay? Giants Vikings. Again, we brought up J.J. McCarthy earlier. This is a potential to see how much more he's progressed now going into year 3.
But there's
Giants.
a problem, Mickey.
What?
But there's a problem. He's
What's
not
that?
the starter.
Yes. But who says that Mr. Kyler Murray is starting in the preseason?
Oh,
JJ's
right. Okay.
got to start.
There you go.
He's got to get some reps in.
Thank you for clarifying.
Giants. Now, again, it's the Harbaugh era now. We're not dealing with no mamby-pamby fucking head coaches. We're not saying with that same playbook. We still don't have Scatterboo back at full 100%. Malik Neighbors should have never played softball in the fucking preseason or the offseason because he got hurt again, had more surgery shit, to be determined. Okay? We're looking at the depth on the wide receiver core. That deep end should be solid. And we have to see development out of the quarterback position. Browns, Bears. I'm going to go out on a limb. The Browns suck. Okay, we talked about it. They got 5 fucking quarterbacks. One should be put in a fucking recycling bin. And obviously, he didn't get put in the recycling bin. So unfortunately, we get to see fucking Deshaun Watson for the 8 billionth time stink up the joint. Okay? So I don't want to see that. I'm going to be honest with you. Saturday night will be one of those nights for fighting.
One of those, and you stress one of those nights.
Yes, one of those nights where alcohol should be flowing from the heavens.
Oh, boy.
Here is the lovely point of the show where I don't want to say that the team is not talented. They are. They are in my division. We battle them every year for division supremacy. The Buffalo Bills. And we got to see a really good preseason game, Hall of Fame game from the Carolina Panthers. Although I don't see them being at the caliber that they were without the loss of that quarterback. But I want to rake the coals a little bit on this one. So the Buffalo Bills have moved into a brand new $2 billion, not multi-million, $2 billion home. And the reviews, just from open practices, people want to ignite sticks of dynamite all over this place and destroy the building.
So they don't like it.
There are massively so many things wrong with a $2 billion stadium that there is no way that they can fix them. There are obstructed views everywhere.
Everywhere.
People are watching the games from the stands through glass windows because that's how they built where the staircases were going to the seats. There are massively obstructed views from beams in the building, blocking views that people can only see like a quarter of the field. They have, I believe, 20,000 less seats in the facility just so people who arrive to the stadium have more space. Oh, and the scoreboard looks like the ticker at the bottom of our screen, that it's that fucking small compared to other stadiums who have huge-ass scoreboards. And to top it all off, I don't mind where they're at games. I will go to a game in a fucking blizzard. Okay?
Well, you're from New York.
Games are meant to be watched in the elements. However, do not give the fans this promise that they won't get crapped on with rain, crapped on with snow, hit with 60+ mile an hour winds because you decided to build your roof a little bit different. This structure, the $2 billion structure the Buffalo Bills put up, is a travesty. They will never host a Super Bowl ever. They should have put a roof on it and not this curvature that only protects 60% of the fans watching the game. Now, I've not been to some stadiums, okay? I believe the stadium in Minnesota, gorgeous.
Minnesota.
I've not been there, but it looks like a viable stadium to host a Super Bowl. Okay? Dallas has the retractable roof. Okay?
Take a lead to Arlington.
You want to be, if you want to be a good stadium, have a retractable roof maybe. Or just put a fucking dome on it. The original fucking stadium, granted, yeah, it sucked for snow, it stunk for rain, and it stunk for wind. But it doesn't change the fact that everybody who pays hundreds of dollars to sit field level is going to get crapped on every game that they go to. So the construction of that stadium makes no sense. It doesn't make sense. And people that originally went to the workout, the joint practice, they were not happy at all. Buffalo Bills fans got promised something and no, sorry, you're asked out.
And you know what's even insulting for them?
Their new uniforms?
No. This is regarding the stadium. But you know what's even more irritating for the Buffalo Bills fans?
What?
That their tax dollars paid for it.
Do you think a Buffalo Bills fan who legitimately puts themselves through a table gives a shit where their money went?
Apparently not, but they should.
Listen, I crap on the Buffalo Bills because we play them twice a year. They have Josh Allen. They have a 90% good team. 90%. They are an elite team.
That they are.
But for them to get blessed with something that looks like a balloon knot from an overweight person is not great for fucking team longevity and any type of excitement to go to a Buffalo Bills game. I understand they needed new stadiums. I understand that. But whoever in their brain thought this construction would do well needs to go back to college and refigure out how to do architecture on a different level. Because granted, yes, this stadium should have a fucking roof on it. Whether it's retractable or not, it should have a roof on it.
Well,
because now you are never going to be truly a highlight fucking arena to host a Super Bowl in probably the shittiest fucking weather ever. But now you have definitely made it that you are not doing that ever again.
well, just to answer Mariah's question, wouldn't it be common sense to make a retractable roof over every stadium?
Not every stadium needs that. Especially on the West Coast.
Yeah, I was going to say, California has the best weather, obviously.
If you're playing in California Seattle is known for not having that type of roof. Okay? But then again, Seattle has always had that motif where they've never had a roof and it rains. Seattle fans fucking enjoy the rain. Okay? Mm-hmm. Certain fan bases enjoy that. Green Bay, another one. The Snow Bowls.
The Ice Bowl, you mean?
they've had snow bowls, they've had ice bowls, they've had every bowl. They've even had a bowl of fucking Cheerios at some point. Okay? Green Bay is known for the weather.
Right.
Okay? Buffalo gets 8 feet of snow. They needed a roof. Okay? Miami doesn't need a roof. Majority of the time, it's warm weather there. You know what happens in Miami? It fucking rains. Okay? They possibly could get one. Not needed. If you are a elemental stadium, anything in like mid-north, east, you should possibly have a roof on your stadium. But then again, elements of the weather make the games more unique. Some need it more than others. Like, we're going to talk about the NFC West now, that I have legitimately destroyed a $2 billion stadium. Like, not even joking when I say that. And I hope Darnell is listening, because wait till he hears my outlook on what we're going to talk about for this part of the show.
Oh boy.
Okay. NFC West. Home of the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. Now, we've kind of bounced around in it a little bit. We'll focus a little bit more on other parts, because your division is just where I decided to start, Darnell. Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, we talked about Carson Beck. We've talked about...
We didn't talk about Marvin Harrison Jr.
We talked about the MASH unit for the 49ers changing their fucking logo to the big Red Cross logo.
Well, Ricky, you know why they can't do that?
Why?
Because the Swiss government is not gonna take kindly to that.
Listen, there is no trademark on a red.
No, it's not that. It's not a trademark thing. They're gonna feel like they're being made fun of.
Listen, the Swiss can be made fun of.
Hey, but
Okay?
you know what? Hey, Switzerland is a beautiful country.
They are a neutral country. They don't do anything along political lines because they stay neutral. We can make fun of them. Okay? They walk around in wooden shoes in fucking Switzerland. I can only imagine how many fucking splinters they get in their feet. There, I made fun of them. I don't give a shit.
But Switzerland's a beautiful country, and one of the most underrated professional wrestlers happens to be from Switzerland.
Yes. Claudio Castagnoli.
God bless him.
Okay,
anyway.
So one storyline we have for the Arizona Cardinals. The contract terms of Jacoby Brissett. Will that make a difference, or will it make it a horror show for the Arizona Cardinals?
It wouldn't matter. You know why?
Why?
Because nobody expects the Cardinals to really do anything.
Would you say that they are going to be the bottom feeders of the NFC West?
Yeah. Only if the 49ers manage to overcome somewhat the injury situation. Unless that doesn't happen, then Arizona's going to finish at the bottom.
Okay. Point number 2. I'm blowing right through these points. Are we going to see the hype, or are we going to see a bust in Jeremiah Love? Knowing the fact that he is on a very stacked running back part of the roster.
What's the status of Arizona's offensive line?
Probably paper thin, but when has Arizona really had a tremendously great offensive line? That's always been a bugaboo of them. It's never gone. But again, we have James Conner returning. He's back from injury. They also we'll still probably have that argument of who the quarterback is between Mendoza, not Mendoza,
Beck?
Tyler Algier is another running back that they got going on. They got quite a few pieces there. So, are we going to get the hype from Jeremiah Love, or are we going to get bust?
Too early to tell.
3. Are we really going to see a new era in Arizona Cardinals football? Mind you, you mentioned him just now. Marvin Harrison Jr., Darius Robinson, obviously Jeremiah Love. No more Kyler Murray. We obviously have Jacoby Brissett. Carson Beck's hurt. So that's technically new era. Oh, Gardner Minshew is also on the Arizona Cardinals, by the way. So are we going to see the, quote, young guns start the new era of Arizona Cardinals football?
It's quite possible, but the problem is that Arizona has too many unanswered questions. Well, who's their current head coach?
I believe they just got a brand new head coach.
Right.
And I don't have his name listed because obviously, even though I'm supposed to be on point with all names and shit, I don't give a fuck.
It's okay. I
They've
got
had-
Mike LaFleur.
They've had so many head coaches. It's like the quarterback room in Cleveland. So
No,
I don't
I
even
have the
know if
name.
that's really going to even help.
Yes, the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals is Mike LaFleur, who, of course, is the brother of Packers head coach Matt LaFleur. And, of course, Mike LaFleur was previously the offensive coordinator of Darnell's LA Rams for 3 years. So I think the head coaching position is respectable. So right now we got to wait and see how things go, especially with the coaching. So there's potential. So as bad as Arizona is, and despite the fact that I have very little to no belief in them, there is some potential and there is some talent.
Okay.
Every single team has some talent. Let's be honest.
I mean, they have talent. The problem that we all look at is, can they actually live up to the potential? I didn't say potential, potential. Because that's going to be the new phrase. Are you going to be good or are you going to piss the bed? That's what we put the label on every year. And obviously, looking at pretty much the elder statesman for the new era of the Arizona Cardinals, this is now going to be Marvin Harrison's 3rd year in the NFL. And he really hasn't done very much. He's not listed, obviously, in a probably top 100 receivers in the NFL.
Which is really sad.
Yes, it is.
Because he was the best receiver in his class in college.
And he also had issues coming into the NFL, with promo and contract issues, jersey numbers. It's kind of to the saying, hey, did he mature enough now going into year 3 to be the oldest one of those young guns? Now we're going to move on to Darnell's team. And he's probably spoke about this on Ramley Talk. Shout out to Darnell and Ramley Talk.
Mm-hmm. The best Rams podcast in history.
This is where I have the bone.
The boat.
No, the bone.
Ah.
The big bone.
Oh, the bone.
We came in listed on this show as defensive players. Defense wins championships. Obviously, the Rams traded for Myles Garrett. Then all of a sudden, we kind of got this name that just miraculously pops out of nowhere. Aaron Donald. Now, let's look back to some of those defenses with Aaron Donald. They were ridiculous. They were absolutely ridiculous. The pass rush only needed four players, and everybody was out in coverage. Okay? Now, obviously, we're talking about the whole, is Aaron Donald unretiring and coming back to the NFL? Obviously, that's going to raise a lot of eyebrows. Because if he comes back and he is not the Aaron Donald of old, the Rams are wasting a roster spot.
Well, eight days ago, he participated, what was it, a 45-minute workout?
Mm-hmm.
Because he retired in March of 2024, so it's been over 2 years.
And let me tell you, Father Time does take its toll regardless of how much you keep in shape. It doesn't matter how much weightlifting you do. It doesn't matter how much freaking cardio you do. Working out and playing are two totally different things. I have said this about Odell Beckham Jr. I have said this about Von Miller. And there are laundry lists of other players who came back and did not perform to what they were back when. So, again, what are we looking at?
If I'm the Rams, I'm not interested. That door's been closed, okay? Now, the Rams are obviously forever grateful for everything Aaron Donald did for them, because Aaron Donald is obviously one of the best players in Rams history. But he retired, again, it's been over 2 years. So, and I think one of the reasons he said that he felt that there was nothing left for him to accomplish, but he did mention something about he no longer had the passion to play or the mentality to play moving forward. I mean, I don't want to twist the story or put words in Aaron Donald's mouth, but apparently, but still, because it's been like over 2 years and all of a sudden, like that, I'm like, no. Because overall, even if I think there would be some bad publicity in this whole thing.
All right, so the comment that we have on our YouTube feed is, does Aaron Donald need to be the Aaron Donald of old? My answer to you is, if he is not even 80% of Aaron Donald, it's not worth it.
I mean, he's not even in his prime, but and I'm not saying that to hold it against him. I mean, he's not the player he used to be, but that's because he's aged. What happened?
Let me go out and say this. I've never been a professional athlete, but I am very active in sports activities. Okay? When you've done what you needed to do, you do look back at all of your accomplishments. He's won a Super Bowl. He's won Defensive Player of the Year multiple times. Okay? He's been on a lot of winning teams. He went out when the high was high. Okay? Prospectively, even at his age, he has a lot more to do outside of playing football. That's why he retired. If you lose passion, you move on to bigger and better things. You try to see if at some point that passion reignites itself. I look at it as the fact being, oh my God, we now have Myles Garrett on our team. I can come back and probably win another ring. But am I going to be at the speed and the strength that I need to be a successful player? These are very big question marks. This is not something you could just flip the switch and going back to being full Aaron Donald. To me, this is kind of like the, oh my God, I can go back and be a winning player only now because we have better pieces on our team. Now, again, I love Myles Garrett. I love defense. I've always played defense. And Myles Garrett, regardless, playing on the fucking turd burglars of the world, Cleveland Browns, you'll hear me call them the turd burglars a lot. Okay? He was on a team that had no shine. Everybody watched the game just for Myles Garrett.
He was a draw.
He was your champion player. Not a lot of people are going to watch them anymore because Myles Garrett is not there. Does it bump the Rams up in the ladder? Sure, absolutely it does. But this is just to me, it's like a ploy to get A, another paycheck, and B, to get back in the spotlight. That's what it looks like to me. I have been there, done that, gotten the t-shirt and said, hey, you know what? I'm done with this. I've done what I could. I'm walking out at whatever point positive that when I talk about these objectives again, everything's positive and not shitty that I went out on a down note. But again, like, it's going to cause a lot of issues because now it's going to be a repeated storyline that possibly takes away from other stuff happening with the Rams.
Right. But no, Aaron Donald coming back, it does not need to happen, and it shouldn't happen. And this is with all due respect.
And again, we have the other comment that the Super Bowl is in LA at SoFi. That should be interesting if both LA teams make it, because, you know, I don't know. All right.
The Battle of Los Angeles.
Question 2. I don't really want to spend a lot of time on this. Does the off season make the preseason and the regular season more important? Mind you, we have Puka Nacua hurt. We have the drafting of Ty Simpson, quarterback, future replacement for Matthew Stafford. We know Stafford has had injury issues over the last few seasons.
How old is Stafford now?
He is, I think, close to 40.
Wow.
I'm not saying he belongs in a retirement home yet. He still has a lot of gas in the tank. But, you know, that could be something that happens. The loss of cornerback. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. They did gain Trent McDuffie, so they made their secondary big. Devontae Adams, is he's going to have still the stand-up seasons like he's had last year? So, do we really say that a lot of the off-season movements make the Rams have to seriously work harder preseason and regular season?
Wait, say that again, please.
Does the off-season maneuvers, even including now the Aaron Donald rumors, make the Rams have to work harder in the preseason and the regular season?
The Rams got to work hard regardless. The Rams have had something to prove for a while because the Rams are always a team, especially since 2017, the Rams have really kind of built a reputation of winning, wanting to win, a desire to win, and most of all, an appetite to continue to win. Because remember, the years before that, the Rams were awful. The final years in St. Louis, the Rams were trash. I mean,
hey, listen, the best show on turf will ever be known for being in St. Louis. That's why it never translated over to LA. Because they were the best show on turf.
I'll never forget, from 2007 through 2009, the Rams were horrible. And I mean horrible. The Rams were 3-13 in 2007, 2-14 the following year, and guess what record they were in 2009? 1-15. So the Rams were horrible. So the move to LA, I mean, all of a sudden the Rams started to rise up. So the Rams know that they have to work hard all the time.
Well,
but that doesn't just go for the LA Rams. That goes for any team, dude.
Well, I'm going to kind of go out on a limb because we have the question of the schedule. Okay?
And apparently Fermi agrees with you about Ty Simpson.
Because he's a good player.
Right.
He's a good player. But he's also, again, looking at the fact that he's going to be sitting behind Matt Stafford. All right? Stafford's 38.
Right. Hey,
okay?
How many years did Aaron Rodgers sit under the learning tree?
So I got questioned about the schedule. Now, again, I'm usually on the money with schedule. All right? I'm going to go,
my friend.
I'll go over schedule right now. Again, preseason and regular season, the first 4 weeks are massively unpredictable. I've said it in the past. We've seen some of the scariest shit happen the first 4 weeks of the season, where teams that we thought were dog shit were not dog shit. So I'm going over this right now. I will prove. I will put the proof in the pudding. Okay. The Rams start off with the mash unit of the 49ers. Okay. They should win that game. All right.
Is the game in LA or in...
The game is in LA versus the 49ers. Okay. So they're at home week 1.
Oh, the Rams got this.
The next game, week 2, is the Giants. Okay.
In your backyard or still on the West Coast?
Still on West Coast.
Oh, so that game's in Fermi's backyard.
That is not going to be a cheese pup game.
No.
Okay? If the Rams win, barely. Barely. Okay? Remind you, this is not your fucking same old BS Giants. They have Harbaugh running the team. So, that team's going to be different. That team's going to fight harder. Possible upset. Possible. Put a little asterisk next to that one. Denver. I don't see them beating Denver. I do not see them beating Denver. And the reason why I don't see them beating Denver is massive question marks, which would have been 0.3. Can the updated receiving core of the Rams live up to the potential of years past? Okay? Granted, yes, Devontae Adams is still there. Are we going to get a healthy, non-distracted Nuka? Question marks. After them two, the Rams wide receiver roster kind of comes down a little bit. There ain't no fucking known names in that list. Okay? Then, they're on the road at Philly. Rams are not known for outdoor games. When they're under the roof, total potential. You're looking at the first weekend of November. They're in Philly. Okay? That's a toss-up. I would still kind of give an edge to Philly because they're playing outdoors. So, I have them possibly right now, the first 4 weeks of the season, at 2-2. Okay? Doesn't get any easier. They have Buffalo in week 5. At home.
No. That'll be good.
I'll give the edge to the Rams. 3-2. Then they get 2 cheese pup games. Week 6 and week 7. Against the Cardinals and the Raiders. 5-3. Home versus home. Chargers, Rams. The Rams are the home team. I'll give you advantage on being at home. They're now 6-3. At Washington, 7-3. 8-3 after playing the Cardinals for the second time. Bye week, week 11. Then they go and have Green Bay at home. Maybe 9-3. They're going to lose to Kansas City because by then the Chiefs will be back at full strength. And Kansas City, over recent years, has had the Rams number. What are we at? 9-4?
Right.
Okay. San Francisco is another win, 10-4. They have the Cowboys at home, at Seattle, and then Tampa to be determined is the last three. 12-5, 13-4. I don't see. Everybody's saying, "Oh, last year the Pats had a fucking cheese schedule." Two of your teams in the division are not going to live up to any potential whatsoever this year. San Fran sucks because they got 20 players on the injury list. Arizona is a fucking rebuild like nobody's business. All right? And the only games that you really tremendously have to worry about are Buffalo, Philly, Denver, the Giants, Green Bay maybe, Kansas City. There's maybe 7 games on that schedule you really tremendously are going to have a dogfight about. The rest of it is poop. So, at 12-5 or 13-4, I'd say that they are going to have a fight for that division with Seattle because basically Seattle is playing the same fucking schedule. And the only difference between that is something that I brought up when I got asked about it by a Philly fan. Oh, what do you think about Seattle, who is next up on our list? Because I think we've already shed enough light on the 49ers. Okay? Can Sam Darnold live up to the hype he was at last year? I throw that to you, Alex.
He was in Minnesota last year, right?
No, he was the Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, that's right. How the hell did I forget that? Can he live up to the hype?
Can he be the Sam Darnold of the 25-26 season?
Oh, yeah, he was. Oh, that's right. He was in Minnesota before that. Of course, there was that story about how Minnesota let him go.
Mm-hmm. And obviously the grass was greener with all of the rain in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
So do we see a repeat performance out of Sam Darnold?
I think we possibly do. But we gotta wait and see just how at full strength Seattle is.
Well, that also brings up question 2. The loss of one of their Super Bowl MVPs, Mr. Kenneth Walker III, obviously changing zip codes, going from Seattle to Kansas City. Does the run game perform the same, better, or worse with the loss of Kenneth Walker III?
It regresses a little bit, I will say this.
And question 3, because obviously this was a big question throughout the regular season and the postseason of last year's 2025 to 2026 season. Can the Seahawks avoid the noise again and succeed and possibly repeat as Super Bowl champions?
There's a chance, but I think ultimately they will not repeat. But I do see them making the playoffs, and I think making it to the divisional round.
I will throw in the little slip teaser. Between the Rams and the Seahawks, what would your early prediction be of who wins the NFC West?
LA.
And how far behind would the Seahawks be?
1 game.
So there's a very big possibility we are battle boxing Seahawks and Rams in that entire division the whole season.
Yeah, a cat and mouse game, if you will.
I'm pretty sure Darnell would understand that you had picked the Rams to win the division. We'll be on record for that, obviously.
And my picks have nothing to do with Darnell.
But I will say,
it's got nothing to do with the fact that Los Angeles is a city that I care deeply about. It's because Los Angeles has got talent, and they've got a drive. They've got an aggression. They've got an appetite. Just like Seattle. Just like San Francisco. But San Francisco is at a massive disadvantage. Now, Los Angeles too, because of some injuries, but Los Angeles has prevailed through particular situations before. And they're going to do it again.
That is it for our first episode of Archrivals Football, the 2026-2027 season. Do you have any final thoughts or outro for the first episode of Archrivals Football?
Well, you'll find footage of Archrivals on our radio, 69 FM, through our website, on Live 365, the app, and as well as on the TuneIn app as well. You'll also find some merch on our website, 69.threadless.com, and that is 69.threadless.com. And if you wish to shop at Fanatics, well, do so through our link, message Mr. Ricky Litwinkowicz, and he will send it to you. And if you want to check out my shows, if you love the real football, football, then check out Into the Net FC. That is Into the Net FC. If you love professional wrestling, well, you got to check out Ringside Chaos. Well, another show is a lot of people are going to get turned off, but if you want to hear the only show literally that exists that is very honest about the Dallas Cowboys, well, then you got to check out my show. It's called Cowboys Talk. And if you enjoy seeing somebody from Texas actually take advantage of the opportunity to bury the team, well, Cowboys Talk is the show for you. And that is all.
And we actually end this live airing of Archrivals Football just as we hit kickoff for Detroit and Cincinnati, Green Bay and Pittsburgh, or as I like to call them, Schittsburg. And at 7:30, we have Colts and Pats in Foxborough. On behalf of the Bearman, yours truly, the master of mayhem. This is Archrivals Football. This is how you do a fucking football show. Done by fans, for the fans. And we will catch you on Sunday for the recap of all of the weekend's games. We will be covering the NFC North. Catch you next time here on Archrivals Football. On behalf of the cast and crew of 6ix9ine Productions, thanks for watching Archrivals Football.